Hello and welcome to another edition of SU Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Rachel Cataldo, and joining me today is the head coach of our men's soccer team here at Susquehanna, Coach Jim Findley. Coach, thanks for coming on with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So this year the team has a 4-9 overall record thus far. What do you think the team is doing really well? And then on the flip side, what do you think is an improvement that the team should make going forward?
Yeah, I think what we're doing really well this year is we're playing better on the offensive end. We've scored more goals already at this point of the season than we did last year. Last year we really focused on team defense and trying to get as many shutouts as we could, and therefore took away from our ability to score goals. So I think that's hurting us a little bit right now. While we're scoring goals on the offensive end, we're probably giving up a few more than we should. So I think down the stretch here, if we can just tighten things up a little bit defensively, continue to play well on the offensive end, hopefully we can turn these last 5 games into wins.
And speaking of the last 5 games, the team has 3 big landmark conference games coming up against Goucher, Juniata, and Scranton. So what will the team, is there something specific you think they need to do going into those conference games?
Yeah, I think our mentality this year and our motto is to just take one game at a time. And as you said, we have 3 coming up in a row that are very important. But our focus right now is on Goucher. While we've played very well this year, we're still 0-3 in the conference, unfortunately. And so to get our first win at home on Saturday will be huge. I think our outlook has to be not just focus on making the playoffs, but continuing to play well game in and game out. And so if we play well defensively and get a couple of goals this weekend, let's go 1-0 and then cross the next bridge as we come to it, which will be Juniata next Wednesday.
And speaking of scoring goals, junior forward Chris Newman was named Landmark Conference Offensive Athlete of the Week and leads the team with 5 goals, and then he also has 1 assist this season. So how has his performance helped the team offensively?
Yeah, we noticed something with Chris last spring where he just was asserting himself on the offensive end and creating opportunities and finishing them in practice. And he's picked up where he left off last spring in this fall season. So, it's hard scoring goals in soccer. And so not only do you need to be able to set chances up for each other, but you need to be able to kind of take the bull by the horns yourself, and that's what Chris has done the last few games. And for most of the games this season, he's got a change of pace that is hard for defenses to defend, and he's making the most of the opportunity. So, we can go very far this fall if Chris continues to score at the rate he is, but hopefully he can set some other guys up to score as well too.
And on the other side of the ball, senior goalkeeper Matt Illingworth was also named Landmark Conference Athlete of the Week, but on the defensive side, of course. So what can you say about his performance and how his leadership has helped the team as a senior? Yeah,
absolutely. Leadership first. Matt's been a fantastic leader this year. He's been a great leader throughout. I think he's really matured, probably coming back from being abroad last spring. And knowing that this was his last season, he wanted it to be the best, not only for him, but for the team. I feel Matt's somebody that definitely puts the team first ahead of his own individual goals. But he's been a leader on the field as well, too. He's communicating well. He's making saves. And we've given up some penalty kicks that are rather unfortunate, probably let him down a little bit, because it's hard to save penalty kicks. But he's had a fantastic senior season, and hopefully he'll continue to lead us both on and off the field going forward.
Yeah, I feel like all the time that's one quality coaches say, your leadership on the field is one thing, but your leadership off the field is important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can never have enough leaders, especially off the field, and guys that lead by example, but also practice what they preach too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining me, Coach. I'm your host, Rachel Cataldo, and we'll catch you next time on the Riverhawks Sports Network.